Hansama looking a little dejected as well. You guys got to reset. You got to get off of that. Yes, you got destroyed. It happened. All right, but it's a new series. Just a series where you got to go 2-0 now. That's fine. It is what it is. Just play your best. Do what you can do. They end up giving up. The Broken Blade Kennen gets the OP pick into Tristana in the top lane. This is a wonderful adaptation. Can't wait to see how this one goes. A little bit easier for Tristana to deal her damage than the Kennen, but Kennen having the stun up their sleeve to answer any kind of all-in from Doran. Should be interesting. I love this combination of double magic solo laners to go with a Viego in the jungle. It's a classic pairing. And he can set up the Viego stuns as well. So good composition put together by G2. It's going to be a question of how much of the momentum of Tristana can... how much is the Tristana top worth, I guess is the best way to put it. You have a Maokai, which pairs fantastically. Plenty of crowd control to lock them down long enough to get the bomb proc off. So super lethal combination. Not so much in the mid lane. Will be very easy for Caps to itemize against here. Might opt for a Banshee's Veil. Just to not to get hooked, not to get locked up by Lissandra. But in lane won't be that effective as, you know, Lissandra more than happy to just get Q spam procs. Mickey pulling the wave over here, which creates a negative state. You can treat this as you want. You can go for minion health advantage. Hansama opting to kill or fight the backline one attack. Now that will be valuable when you're actually fighting for prio for hitting level 2, but that is not something you want to do after you pull the wave. When you pull the wave, you actually want to let that minion that has lost its AI aggro acquire on the first melee target. And when it does, it'll push into your wave. By attacking it, it's actually resetting the RNG, and it's going to not push quite as fast. Also, having that extra minion damage down, not as important. They opt instead saying, hey, we're going to fight. I don't know how this happened. I'd like to go see, you know, the footage from their point of view, but how Delight and Pays opted not to go into that push could have been just that Thresh Jinx feels that much more threatening. And so they say, hey, no, like we're just gonna let you guys win this anyways. And Chovy with the big flash, not waiting for Caps to get the stun, which is what you want, right? Don't wait for the stun to happen. Now, if I'm Mickey, I'm coming right back. I would have come right back around here, get ready to flash, stay just out of vision, let Annie flash stun into your flash hook, which goes into your E. Perhaps they're saying that they just don't have the total amount of damage, with Lissandra being at 90%. Annie would have an opportunity with first strike, giving her all that extra damage. Does not have the ignite to help finish the deal off, though. So I'm sure that's why they call it off. They say it's not worth 2 flashes to not get a kill. Even if we push her back, she's just got teleport. She'll be right back. So Chovy wisely using that first flash. Now let's check out the aggression in the bot wave. Now, this is what you want to do against Blitzcrank. You just want to take fights. Yes, he's got the hook, but you just want to keep on fighting. Because even if he does land that hook, if they're not 100 to 0ing you, you can just treat it like a flash. Now, in this case, Hansama was not able to stack up the damage. And despite being Doran's Blade versus Cull, they give up first blood. This is very bad for G2. Right? You have very poor laners here. Now let's check out the engage in front. In the mid, no flash. She is able to get the roots off. The trade kill? Are you kidding me? All right, extra 150 gold in the pockets of G2. And they're showing aggression everywhere. Jesus. There's fights going in GenG's advantage everywhere. Despite being a 2v1, Chovy was able to get a return kill. Picks up the cloak for themselves. This is going to be probably... I mean, usually you see Lucid Boots or Spell Pen on the Lissandra, since she's the one making proactive plays. May opt for Banshee's Veil herself just to stay away from the stun combinations of Andy and Viego. Or she might deviate, saying, hey, this is the game. Their only way that they can ever kill me is with Chain CC. Merc Treads has a lot of value this game. You've got stuns on 4 different champions. You have five cleansable effects on the roster of G2, which explains the cleanse on Aphelios. Not to even mention ignites and things like this. But Chovy may opt for Merc Treads here. May opt to just say, hey, I don't need to deal as much damage. I just need to be the rock. And that would be comp specific, right? You've got a Tristana and an Aphelios on your team. As Lysandra, you don't need to be dealing as much damage. Same thing, Maokai's going to be dealing plenty of magic damage. There's a good chance that a Force of Nature comes out somewhere on this Viego's build path, maybe Hex Drinker. Your magic damage isn't going to be dealing as much. But Hans Sama getting called out? Why do you get caught out here? This doesn't make any sense, guys. What is going on, G2? They look asleep. Look at the demeanor. I don't know, man. G2, it doesn't look like it's their day. Now, the format will favor them. They're not out of the tournament. They'll go into the losers bracket, assuming they lose. Which it might be too early to call. But just watching at the way things are playing out, it doesn't feel like we've got the best G2 in front of us. If they are going to get out of this game, how are they going to do it? Kennen flank, Viego shadows, Annie dive, right? So Annie's going to try to set up the fight, engage the fight when she sees it. Hopefully enemy team consolidates to try to save whoever the Annie stun target is, because you have the threat of Annie, Viego, and Thresh all locking in together. While other team consolidates, that should make a perfect target for Kennen to just sweep in over the top. But frankly, it's not going to matter this game, because even if Pays gets locked up, they have another AD carry threat. They've got tons of poke damage, and the bot lane is just annihilating right now. Aphelios Blitzcrank, go figure. Aphelios Blitzcrank winning in the 2v2 and just getting solo kills. You've got a 4-0 bot lane. Unassisted either, right? It's not like they had any other help to do this. They just won this lane, which is supposed to be a point of strength for G2. They won this lane 4-0. So we got problems here. Now, proactive play is what I like to see. Have to do something. They end up getting Doran's flash. It's not nothing. His teleport is down. Can you create some advantages here? Viego is going to stay in the top lane and try to camp this lane. You got to stay. Yeah, all right, good. He cancels that recall. You have to find a point of strength. What are you doing, Broken Blade? No, you have to be dealing this damage right now. Make it so that Tristana feels pressure to step up. If she does step up, Viego stun into Kennen ultimate should be enough. Also, Kennen will be able to flash to reposition on wherever Tristana jumps to. So they should be able to continue this play and get the damage. Doran wisely dropping the ward down right away. I wish Viego had done something to get some sort of eyeball on the Tristana before she came up. Now, they were strong on the top side. They end up moving Mickey and Hansama over and saying, Annie, you can just chill down in bot lane while we pick up Rift Herald for ourselves. GenG saying, that's no problem. You guys can have Rift Herald. We'll kill your Annie. We'll take more plates down here. When you have a tremendous lead on your bot laner, you don't actually need to rotate over for Rift Herald. You actually just want to be the one that collects plates and starts ending the game faster. Let the other team rotate, and you take this solo. Notice that Blitzcrank steps back. Now, this is good. Yike, continue to make this play, right? Keep on sitting on the door, on the Tristana. You have to create yourself a point of strength, a point of weakness for the enemy team, something that you can exploit, something that you can take advantage of. Because if you're not stronger anywhere, then what advantage is there to gain? There's just absolutely nothing. Now, Peanut dropping the aggro, ends up doing the quick twisted advance, Pays tanking that just in case Peanut was not out of the woods yet. But they get another clean dive off on the Annie. So, goodness, Aphelios 5-0-1, stacked up. He's gotten kills on, three different champions. So you better believe these passive effects on the rune page are getting stacked up as well, and he is in position to carry. Make no mistake about it. So strong, in fact, that doesn't need to go help with Dragon. Much more important for him to just get out on the map. Now, with a lead like this, sometimes you see AD carries pre-14 minutes. They won't go mid. Instead, they'll go top. and say, hey, I've already done most of the damage on here. It just needs to be breathed on a little bit, and that will be enough to get the turret dead. Also, with 2 lingering control wards in the southern quadrant, it does mean that Tristana can be aggressive here, knowing that she's got good vision, right? That you see this ward line, 2 wards in and around jungle camps, 2 control wards. They even have this. There is no avenue to bot lane besides hugging the bottom wall, right? Only hugging the bottom wall will get you there unnoticed. So Tristana has tremendous informational advantage here and is able to flex that, and she will be able to take the fight to the Annie if Annie puts her stun on cooldown or misuses an ability, even something like shield being used to trade. If she doesn't get it just right, then Tristana will be able to flex this lead here, and that's in a case of it right there. Boom, uses a spell, puts it on cooldown, doesn't have the stun available, and Tristana immediately aggresses. And Caps, you've just lost 60% of your health, and now you don't have the chance of trading back here. Your advantage on Tristana was never having to use a spell. You keep your stun locked and loaded, and the moment that she plays aggressively on you, you stun her, you deal your full burst, and then you would step back. But instead has to limp away from the lane. G2 is struggling to hold on to things. They've decided to match Jinx and Thresh in the top lane to just allow Jinx to soak up as much of this stuff under turret as possible. There is nobody on the map that can match up with this Aphelios. I love this play by Mickey. You guys think that you're setting up a dive on us by using your ultimate. I'm just going to flash in and try to get a flay while you're taking aggro. Unfortunately, Yike 3 seconds behind. If Yike is already casting his Shadow Realm on the wall there, they actually could have turned that play, and I love the idea, but now staying is a little bit inty, right? You're playing under here against a Maokai and Blitzcrank. You guys can't stay here. GenG saying, yeah, we'll just tank this up. We'll just body block for the Aphelios. No threat. They could have taken the fight too, make no mistake about it. They're just saying, yeah, we don't have perfect information on everybody, so we'll just body block. If you take it to us, then we'll win this fight. Absolutely love GenG's composure here, and Pays, has been cracked all season, continuing his form here, and just unbelievable to watch. This bot lane, which was for part of the season considered their weak spot, right? And how you might think that based on the name power that you have everywhere else, but Pays is on the track to be this golden roader, and if he wins this tournament, he'll be on an elite list of players who win their first domestic title and their first international event in their rookie season. It is basically unheard of and almost unthinkable when you come out of Korea and you have to go through the T1 juggernaut to get here. You know that these guys have cut their teeth on elite competition. 7K gold in the lead. How do you get out of this if you're G2? Well, we've already talked about it, but they're not making that happen. It's going to be very difficult to even posture around any kind of objective because you're down a full item. Look at 80 carries. Jinx has yet to complete Mythic. Aphelios is on two full items. That is a full item advantage. You have completed items versus components everywhere else. Only person doing moderately okay and as far as build path is concerned is Viego. So even if you came to a dragon fight and even if we got the perfect situation that we were looking for, I don't think it's going to be enough. Now, a little bit mistimed. They go for the proactive play. It's going to work out for them because they're able to kill the turret. They say, let's make the play happen as we're killing the turret so that we can eliminate the main source of damage while also eviscerating the enemies. G2 able to get 1 kill quickly on it, but of course Blitzcrank doesn't mind. He will trade his own life for 2, even when you're winning. Especially when you're winning. 2 kills for 1 is going to happen. It does mean that your strong 4 champions are going to do whatever they like on the entire map. Now you see this from teams in the lead, right? Red, white gun. They are actually prioritizing keeping the white gun up because the white gun has all sorts of potential with other combinations to still be a carry threat. So if you're an Aphelios player, take note of this. Best Aphelioses in the world are always going to keep that white gun up. It is the best one for the all-ins. Red white, of course, being number one for that like single target burst. And that was the one that they had leading up to that fight. But basically just always keeping white gun. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. It is your main source of damage, your main source of burst. It gives you all the crazy combos with the ultimate as well. So a little lesson to take out of this when you watch Pays play. Now, another lesson, he has bought Quicksilver Sash. Like we said, all 5 champions on G2 have a cleansable effect. So go ahead, buy yourself a cleanse. You've got cleanse, you've got the Quicksilver Sash. So now multiple ways that even if the perfect engage comes out on the perfect target and they're able to get all that damage in, you're still going to be able to escape and fight back. And you've got the Gale Force and the Bloodthirster. If there's ever going to be a problem, it would be that you start lacking damage, but with this much of a gold lead, just the fact that you have more items is going to be a lead anyways, right? Even if you're only taking whatever it is, 45 or 55 damage from Mercurial Scimitar, as opposed to 75 for an Infinity Edge, for example, that damage is still going to be higher than your opponent's, and you're making sure that you're staying alive the whole time through it all. So GenG just flexing their lead. Rift Herald being pushed up in mid-wave. Baron not even on the map yet. 1650. We're going to see. This might be a record. Honestly, yeah, it might be. I want to say that like 1740 was the fastest international game, and especially between teams from this region, you don't see this happen. But G2 finds themselves the opening, finds the all-in. It was the shape that we talked about, right? Tristana's off to the side. You don't have full threat. You're able to kill Pays. You get that gigantic shutdown. And so there's a breath of hope here for G2. Not much. Still in checkmate position for sure. Nothing really to hang their hat on, except, right, the same mistake. Maybe they make the same mistake, slightly out of position. But it's going to be 5 minutes before they have the flash tools that they need, right? The ultimates will come up soon enough. But basically, there was flash from Kennen, flash from Viego that make that possible. You need to have Kennen's flash to make these plays, and so we're not going to see another window of opportunity for 5 minutes. Here's the play. Annie dealing that damage. Viego hiding in the ghost town right here. 3-man flay, and there's the ult plus flash combination from Kennen. Enough to deal enough damage to the Aphelios, and then goes for a little bit of a chase down. Inhibitor was not taken, so we're going to see a 1-3-1 for a little bit. Oh my gosh, look at that upfront damage from Doran on Tristana. And the teleport was canceled? And the teleport was canceled. G2 getting nothing back for themselves. Thought that maybe they could get a pick onto Doran, but frankly, he got the kill fast enough. I love this little play here. Right, you pop the ghost and then go around. Tristana actually goes right back into where the Viego started to try to create the maximum amount of space. Be like, yeah, I know you used the blast cone. I'll just hide on the blast cone, and it'll take him a full lap to get back to me. Maokai ult being used. Haven't had to see anything from the Maokai this game because, the plays just happen for themselves. The Aphelios winning by as much as he has. Kennen ult being used to retreat. Don't like that play. You just got to die trying. I don't care about your stats. Just get in there, deal the most amount of damage. Who knows? Maybe Yike gets some resets. All it takes is him taking over an Aphelios body with the right guns for him to actually go carry this game. So would have liked to see Broken Blade int right there. Just spend your HP as a resource to give Yike a chance, right? If he gets 2 kills, or if you get just the Aphelios, then the game continues, and you have a chance of staying in. But he doesn't, so GenG just takes it, walks away with a pre-20-minute victory, looking clean, and they are up 2-0. And really, G2 just doesn't look like they're here to game, honestly.